Okay. I know there's a lot of people in the group who's just starting out. You don't have a lot of money, so you go out, you source, and then you have to wait 2 weeks, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But there's a lot of, other things you can be doing. There's other people who are doing well, who need help with their Amazon business. I'm sure there's people in the group, if you don't have enough money to go buy stuff, there's people in the group who, may need help, sourcing or with administrative tasks, or there's a ton of things that you can do to make money around Amazon, with Amazon. Write a book, make a coloring book. You don't have to draw. I'm not drawing anything. You can go on Upwork. You can go on you can go on places like DeviantArt and find people who are making coloring pages there and doing nothing with them, and license them, get a royalty-free license, or hire somebody. We're hiring people on Upwork to make coloring pages. You can get one for well under $100 to get 24 pages or so done. They have templates right on CreateSpace. You can copy all that in from, you copy the photos into the template. You make an introduction. They have a cover designer, that's just templates, and you fill in your information, and you can have a coloring book up there. And, if you have the right keywords, if you, as I showed you before we started, these little, there's a million coloring books out there, almost literally. So, if you put some time and thought into it and put things together that go together, then, people are going to buy it, and they're going to tell people, and they're going to write reviews, and you have a best-selling book. We had my friend Jason, who's really is a top-selling seller that has sold, I think in the last few months, he's made about $15,000 just on one of the 3 books he's published. And the first one he put out in October, and it's still ranked today, somewhere in the 2000s, I think around 2,500. And, he did draw the things himself, but, what's the difference who draws it? You give credit to whoever drew it, as long as you have the rights to publish it, and it's very easy. Or you're hiring somebody to do it. I have people that we've hired now. I'm all about outsourcing as many tasks as possible. Obviously I couldn't run a business and run mastermind groups and source, for you guys, hundreds of items. And, everything else that we do for our business, make coloring books, and you have to learn to outsource. Hire VAs. If you have money left over when you still get paid from your Amazon payout, then you're probably doing something wrong, because you should be spending all your money.
Somebody's not muted. Sorry, there's just like paper rustling. Jill Santosh, okay.
I think it was Jill, but oh, there it is. Okay. No, it's supposed to mute people on entry, but it doesn't always work for some reason. So that's just one of the things that we're trying to expand into, and outsourcing is the way to do it. From having Valerie working for me, is a form of outsourcing, to, hiring VAs, starting at about $3 an hour on Upwork, and every time we post a job, there's 100 people that try to get the job. So, I know there's a ton of people looking to work. Just because we don't think $3 an hour isn't a lot, doesn't mean that, it's not a fair wage for them. We hire a lot of people from the Philippines. We hire people for sourcing. We hire people to do research, to do, coloring book designs. We hire people to, find the designs that we're going to pick out to put into the book, and we could probably outsource, putting the books together at some point if we're making enough of them. You can outsource nearly every job, especially if you're doing online arbitrage. you send your products to fulfillment centers, and that gives you time to find more products. You should be worried about growing your business. And we have a lot of people who join our group for a month or so and then leave again. And the biggest problem is they're not putting the time into the group. If obviously everybody who's here is doing that, but if you're not paying attention to, the important things, which we try and help you with, growing your business, outsourcing, and if you don't have time, to pack those products that you're getting, in the mail every day, or if you're just going out shopping and if it's sitting around for weeks, then that's costing you money, because the faster you get it in, the faster you get the stuff. And, hiring VAs and hiring people to help you, is really the biggest problem for most people. People don't want to hire somebody. Some people really can't hire people. Right. So Jonathan's using a prep center, which, we work with. I don't use prep centers because I have a warehouse full of people. But if there was no prep centers when I started, but if there were, I probably would have been using them all along. There really wasn't much online arbitrage when I started out, but now there is, and now there's plenty of prep centers. Prime Zero Prep, is a great one because it's in a tax-free state, and you could be saving money. A lot of people are in high tax rate states, and you could be possibly saving money on your taxes. Okay, I don't know what the note is about, but you could be saving money on your sales tax if you're sending to a tax-free state. It could be cheaper to pay that dollar fee or whatever it is, to be just sending it to the prep center. There's some that do. There's some of those that are doing, full service. So you just order the stuff, send it to them, and they'll list it on Amazon for you. They'll ship it, and that's all you have to do. I know Prime Zero Prep does it for some people, and the Texas Prep Pack and Ship, definitely does it, and I know there's a lot more out there that does it as well.
That's all me.
Right. So, if anybody has any questions you want to go over, that's what we're here for. We're here to help you out with that. But I definitely wanted to cover, outsourcing and virtual assistants. Nate McAllister is going to be on, when is that? This Wednesday?
It is this Wednesday.
Okay, so Nate's going to be on. He wrote a book that's free. You just have to, give him your email address. And all about outsourcing. He's done a lot of blog posts about hiring VAs. I mean, it's the simplest thing in the world. We've done videos on it, walking you through. You basically just go on Upwork and enter the job description, and people will, send you a message, and you can see all their qualifications, all their work history, samples, all that information, and decide who you want to hire. If they don't work out, you get rid of them. It charges you automatically. It takes the payments out every Monday through PayPal and transfers it to them. It takes pictures every few minutes of all of their work, what they're doing, so you can monitor what they're doing, make sure they're not messing around on whatever they use. They don't really use Facebook over there, but you can look in certain countries or just hire people in the U.S. Chris Green used basically the same company before it was Upwork, to meet the programmer who created ScanPower. He created ScanPower doing the same thing. He found a need and, in his own business, and hired somebody who was in the U.S. to do it, and then they turned it into a company because it was such a good tool, and it was the first listing tool that there was no way to print labels as you went, so you had to do them all, print everything, and then put all the labels on, and then put them in the boxes. It was pretty complicated back then. So I mean, I have a lot of VAs. I've probably hired 100 of them at least, from foreign countries to do everything. Every job on the computer you can think of, you could have a VA doing. We've had them, posting ads on Craigslist, um, looking for reimbursements, looking for all the negatives, opening cases for negative feedback from Amazon, all those tasks that you don't want to do, going through the weekly unfulfillable inventory list and, opening cases to get it reimbursed or have it removed or whatever we needed to do for that product. And, anything you don't want to do so you can concentrate on growing your business. You are the owner of a small business and, your job is to concentrate on growing it, not to, waste time packing boxes. You can go get a minimum wage job and, put stuff in a box for 8 hours a day. You're an entrepreneur and you should be concentrating on figuring out how to grow your business. If that's creating more wholesale accounts or, going out sourcing in stores or, whatever you think the best use of your time is, you can outsource basically every segment of your Amazon business, either by hiring people physically or, hiring foreign VAs. You can even do the whole process. We never use credit cards anymore. We use gift cards for everything, discounted gift cards. So the most you're going to lose is what, $100 at a time, $50 at a time.
Is that me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Yeah.
Or hear stuff. I don't know if you could hear stuff.
No. It might be a little bit, but we're fine. So and there's some training courses on doing just this, where you basically, you hire a VA to source, and then you have one VA that's looking over all the other VAs, and they are, your most experienced one would be checking the products and, following your qualifications to decide what to buy, and you just buy the discounted gift cards, send them the gift card numbers, and they do the ordering, for you, your most trusted one, or, an employee, or, you do the ordering yourself, which is what most people do. Hire somebody to do sourcing, just like we're doing. We're doing the sourcing for you. We have VAs. I have regular employees in America, and I have foreign VAs who do the sourcing. And then we process those lists, decide which ones are the best and, are worth buying. And that's what we post into the groups. So, you can be doing the same thing. There's no reason why you can't. If you know how to source, if you know how to do something for your business, there's no reason why you can't train somebody else how to. Screencast-O-Matic is free, or, they have other plans, $10 a month. But all you do is use Screencast-O-Matic, record your screen, you show it to them, let them watch it over and over. Some watch 8-10 times till they get it down. But however you do it, you make a recording of that and you share it to them. And then the next person you hire, if they don't work out, you send them the same video. Or you want to hire a second employee, you send them a video. And it's a lot simpler than it sounds. And if you're hiring foreign VAs, you're using a service. You don't have to worry about taxes and all that other stuff. You're paying for a service, and they're doing it on their end. If you hire an0employee, some states you got to pay taxes and all that other stuff, even if you hire one. So
questions too.
Right. Kelly, the Mastermind group is basically like the top rung of, everything we do. Of course, sourcing lists we can't give to you guys that we sell because those are limited. But, anything we do, the Mastermind members are going to have access to. So, the VA training, which is going to be training on teaching VAs to use OA X-ray to source at those stores. All the Mastermind members, which is all you guys will have access to that, and any other training courses we put together. So I've shared a lot of that already in here, and if you use OA X-ray, you sign up with my link, you should have access to that Mastermind group. If not, there's a bunch of OA X-ray videos. You look at the pin post at the top of the group. But I mean, if you have specific tasks, if you want to learn how to train somebody on anything specifically, not just Kelly, but anyone, just send me a message, send Valerie a message, and, we can put together a video for you. But any of my videos where you see me sharing my screen, any of the dozens or hundreds of YouTube videos that I've done, I use Screencast-O-Matic. It records your screen. I would share my screen and show it to you, but you won't see it because it's recording over, so you couldn't actually see that. But all it does is it has a box, and you move the box whatever portion of the screen you want. So if you don't want all your tabs at the top, or the address bar at the top of your browser to be shown, you just select the area you want, you hit record, it records it, it processes it, it'll even upload it right to YouTube if you want, and that's how we do it. We put it as an unlisted video on YouTube. You can have public, private, which only you would see it, or unlisted, and unlisted is only people with the link. So when we make a training video, we sometimes it's for my employees, sometimes it's for our VAs, or including all the ones in the Mastermind. The only people who have access to those are members of the Mastermind. So if you don't look at those links, if you don't look at the links in the pinned post, then that's the only way to access them. You can't go to YouTube and see them because they were created specifically for the Mastermind members. And you can do the same thing. You use Screencast-O-Matic. I think it has a 20-minute limit, and it puts the Screencast-O-Matic logo on there. Or I forget what it is, but it's like $15 a year to have the unlimited plan. So all we do is we record our screen. You have a microphone. You don't have to have video, or it'll record a little video box in the corner if you want. And it records the screen. It records whatever you're saying. You narrate what you're doing. Go slowly, speak slowly, and that's all there is to it. But any of those videos I'm showing you of tools that we've used, or I'm sure you've seen all those YouTube videos I've done using Keepa or anything else. That's just Screencast-O-Matic and me narrating what we're doing. Or you can go back later and narrate it. But I mean, to do it all at one time, it's very easy. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of questions, I guess.
Yeah.
If I wanted to share my VA training processes, I could use the help there. And like I said, let us know specifically something you want, and we could show you a sample. I could record something. I have no problem helping you guys do anything that you need. I mean, that's what we're here for. I built a whole team of employees, just for the Mastermind. So really anything we can do to help with any aspect of your business, we've probably seen it, or somebody on my team has. So Kelly said it might not be helpful because we all have different ways of doing things. I'm still not good at it myself. Even an example would help. So again, Kelly, what I'm not sure what you want to do. If we're talking about sourcing here, then really my OA X-ray course would be great.
I think they want because if you scroll down more, I think that they wanted processes, not necessarily just data collection. So I don't know, we have you have the how to pack a box one, you have some that you've done training on processes for. Right. So you just recorded the same way, just did exactly how you do it and record yourself
Trying to
doing it.
do a somehow complex task, not just data collection. Okay, so Sarah or Kelly, can you give me an example of what you would need? I mean, we can make, any kind of videos you think is helpful. I mean, if it's helping you, I'm sure it will help other people.
While we're on this subject too, somebody had asked a question on, I haven't, hold on, it was like privately to me, but on any good resources to find local people to go to the stores and purchase products for you. So,
well, I've talked about it before, but the way that we do it is, we've hired some, and I mean, I trust the people. I've worked with them a long time, but the thing is, we're not doing it that way, but, you could hire somebody. I know Nate McAllister has hired somebody in the past and, let them actually buy stuff. But the way we do it is I have like college kids who go out and scan. So they'll scan a whole aisle, top to bottom. Each section works their way down. And then anything that's worthwhile, they're using scan power. So they take a screenshot and just upload all the screenshots. So what we do with that is then we take all those and we process it, and then we can make a list of items to go back and buy. Do you hire the employee or just pay them? So I guess that's not actually answering the question. So if you find people to hire as an employee, or do you just pay them as 1099 contractors? All our employees are actually employees, so I'm not sure that that fits the technical answer for a 1099 contractor. You would have to talk to a CPA and ask them that specifically. But I don't believe that that's going to fall under the scope of an independent contractor. That's not really something I could tell you. But what I can tell you is that, if you want to hire an employee, there's a lot of online services out there. Even Sam's Club has one where, they'll do all the taxes and all the payments, and, you just go online and enter the information, how much you're paying them. And, then it will do the direct deposit to them. So you basically just select who it is when you hire them, enter their information, select who it is, and then however often you're paying them, you just enter their hours or pay rate or whatever it is, and then it will do the direct deposit. So, it's pretty simple to do that. But then what you have to think about is the trade-off of that money and all that time you're going to take to train them and teach them against sourcing online and just sending it to a prep center. To where if you're not in a tax-free state, you may be already saving money or breaking even or making money by not paying the sales tax. And then if you're doing it locally, you're going to have to pick up all those products. Now, I'm all about retail arbitrage. I prefer it over doing online, but I already have those employees in place. So you have to see where your money savings are going to be. Because hiring an employee for however many, dollars an hour, probably 10 or more dollars. We pay most of ours $10 an hour, for doing things like packing and shipping and going out sourcing.
And just, I guess so there's another question that was sent to me, but before you go any further, just to capitalize on it, how did you find the ones who work for you? I think
right. So Sarah posted what the link to the IRS. What is an employee and what's an independent contractor. And like I said, I don't interpret those things as the employees that we would hire as being independent contractors, even the ones that are going out and buying for you. Of course, the ones who are working for you on your site, packing boxes, definitely aren't independent contractors. But there might be a little gray area as far as people going out to source for you. But again, I really don't think so. I mean, and it really depends on how you interpret the job. I mean, if you are basically paying somebody for a service of, supplying you leads, like you're paying me, if you were paying somebody, if you set it up that way, then, it could possibly be paying somebody of the service. But, again, you're going the long way to, get around what, a simple task might be. But again, ask the IRS, ask your CPA. I mean, everybody should have an accountant that you can ask questions to. Not just, if you're paying a lot of money. I mean, we only pay $175 a year for our taxes. And I mean, I can call him at any time and ask him any questions. So, I hear people paying $500 or $600 a month. One of our, well, he wasn't in the mastermind anymore, but somebody left the mastermind, asked me this question. They don't even sell on Amazon. They do services now, but, they asked me if that was a good price, and, they wanted $575 a month, and they really weren't available to help with anything. So the way we found the ones that work for us, basically everybody who are, I assume Pam's asking about real employees, and the way that we found all of ours is basically word of mouth, which doesn't help you guys out too much. I posted a lot of Craigslist ads, and, I got a lot of people to come in, but they never really worked out too good. But, some people have worked out great. Nate had somebody working with great. He found them on Craigslist. They did the sourcing. I mean, he gave them money, gave them a credit card that he could just add to as he needed to, and it worked out great. I was never really able to find anybody that worked that well. Now, what we did was I used to have a video game store, a used retro video game store, and my partner there, I was able to hire his wife, his ex-wife, and then his daughter, and then I hired his ex-wife's sister, and then her sister, his half-sister's in there, and then Valerie is my niece, and then we've also hired, one of her friends. So everything is literally like, for the mouse, and then, a ton of VAs that we find on Upwork, and, there's a lot, I say Upwork, but, any of those for hiring the foreign VAs, there's dozens or probably even hundreds of those out there. But I prefer Upwork, again, because they log into a program, and then every few minutes it takes a screen capture. And I'm in here right now. I can actually show you. So this is Upwork, and these are actually all the freelancers we have working for us right now. Please don't steal them. But here's one of the ones that does the sourcing for us. And so this is showing when she last worked 8 hours ago. Last week, apparently she only worked 20 hours. That's not very good. And it cost $67.71 for her to work 20 hours. And there's a work diary. And everything's automated. I mean, I rarely talk to her. Valerie contacts her when, there's issues or things that we need to change, anything like that. But this is her work history for, today. She's in the Philippines, so she's, way off from us. So you can see she worked 4 to 5 a.m. and then like 2 to 3 a.m. But it's taking a screenshot, every 5 to 10 minutes, 4:27, then 4:32, then 4:49. And you can see she's using OA X-ray at this point. And I have some that we've trained to use OA X-ray, and we have some that don't use OA X-ray. So, if a store supports OA X-ray, there's about 30 who do, we use OA X-ray because it's a lot faster. I mean, you know, you can just find a ton of things in a short amount of time. And, you know, the VAs that don't use it will find one or two an hour. You know, so there's a lot into it. So this will show time zones, show my time, show their time, or, you know, UTC, Greenwich Mean Time, 24, 48 hour. And then, so you can see what's on their screen. And they don't, if they're not logged into it, they're not getting paid. So we don't allow them to log offline time, or they could say they work 50 hours, add 50 hours, and I have to pay them for it. So we don't allow anybody to log, you know, time off the clock. But, you know, we can look and see, you know, if they have bad output or whatever, we can look and see what they were doing. You know, it's not like a live video, but it does show, you know, it does take screenshots at random. So, you know, every 5 to 10 minutes it's taking another screenshot, and we can see, you know, what they're working on. You know, and I've made videos how to, you know, hire people, but I mean, it's ridiculously simple. You just go to actually jobs, and then we can post a job. So these are all the open jobs. Most of these we've hired people for, but I mean, we hire people for everything. We got page after page of these.
There's another question whenever, if you're finished.
Okay, so what's the question?
Someone was asking about scan sheets. I know that.
Right, Cyber Monkey deals, scan sheets. I've made several videos about it. What is the question?
Just what exactly it is, why we promote it so much, or have been promoting it so much. So I don't know that they've seen any of the videos. If you want to just briefly go over it, and then we'll obviously have
promoted that much. I mean, I did make a couple of videos. I mean, we use it a lot. We use it every day. You know, so you know, this is really all it is. There's we have a limit of 40 hours a week, and it's $3.33 an hour. We're paying them, paying this one, and you know, she's made almost $1,000. So I mean, we're talking, you know, over 300 hours she's worked. Yeah, I mean, I have no problem showing it to you. Well, All Scan Sheets is a this is a tool that will process spreadsheets. So if you now ScanPower has one too. It's free for up to 50 items, and then after that there's a fee, and it basically does the same thing. So if you have a so let's say, for example, you're buying from wholesale. We use it for things we get from our VAs, but if you were buying at wholesale, I don't think it'll show this. So nope. Okay. So I will reshare and delete this now. So if you're buying at wholesale and you're able to get a wholesale list from your distributor or a manufacturer or whatever kind of wholesaler, you know, some of these have huge lists, 50,000 items, 10,000 items. And if you can get their UPCs and their price, then you can process that whole list. Now, this will do a title search, which there may be multiples or many, many multiples that match the title, so that's not the optimal thing. Or an ASIN, of course. Most wholesalers aren't going to have the Amazon ASIN. But you can fill in any one of these three and cost. You have to have cost. And then these are basically personal notes. So if you're doing online arbitrage or you had a source or whatever you wanted to put in there, you could fill that in so later on you could see the results. And then any kind of notes. So when we're sourcing, you know, we'll put the ASIN that we find, the cost at the source, like the URL, Walmart, Target, whatever we're getting it from, and then maybe if it's a multi-pack or some other kind of note, we'll put it in there, and then we can upload this to CyberMonkey Deals. But all that's required is one of these and the cost. So you can copy the UPC and the cost from this list, no matter how big it is, and then upload it to Scan Power Evaluate, Scan Sheet, or any of the other tools that do the same thing. And once you upload it, it takes a few minutes to process, but once it's uploaded, this will, okay, so this is the OA sourcing list in the Mastermind group. You'll be able to look at it on screen like this. So all you did was upload the UPC or ASIN, whatever, and the cost. And this is all the data. You're going to get all this data back on it. So, this is the title that came back. Here's the link to look at it on Amazon. Here is the link for the source, which it came from Target, your cost. This has links to Cyber, Camel, Keepa, and I think Price Zombie's down now. This is their own sourcing tool, Scanalyze. So if you don't subscribe to it, you don't have access to that. And if it's a multi-pack, it recognizes this was a multi-pack. So it sees that you're getting 138% ROI based on buying 5 at this price. But maybe, the Amazon listing was wrong and it's only a single pack. You can click in here and change that. And now, the ROI is going to be significantly higher. So now it's 1,000% ROI. It's showing your profit margin, it's showing your net profit. It shows you the Amazon fees, the cost, the sales price. There's the buy box plus shipping, all this information, rank, and you can look at it all on a screen. And you can also sort it right here. So you can look at items that are only in a certain category. You only want to see the grocery items or pets or whatever it is you want. You only want to see items, under 100,000, with at least 50% ROI and, a $3 profit. You can do all that. And you submit. Okay, so this is the under ROI list. So it's actually the archive list that we post. So it's not a whole lot good in there.
And then to top that off, also on April 13th, Wednesday, we'll have Jay Bain on, who is...
right, Jay Bain's the creator of this, creator of Scanner Monkey.
Yep. He's going to go in, he's going to talk about Scan Sheet, he's going to talk about all CyberMonkey deals and how he balances. He has a ton of stuff that he does every day, so he's going to come on.
He does sourcing, he's a distributor for a wine company. So he's in Targets and all those superstores, super centers, setting up displays and doing all that while he's doing all this other stuff. This is going to give you back a ton of data. And what you're able to do is you're able to take your giant lists of 10,000 items and you're able to bring it down to, something manageable, something you can find, the good products out of. But it's not just an online thing. You can also download it again into a spreadsheet, and it's going to give you all this data in a CSV, which I'm going to show you that now. So you uploaded this information here. Well, I used a ASIN, but it would have whatever you inputted here. Only one of those would be filled in, and the input cost. So I inputted this, and it gave me all of this data back. So I only had to input that, and it's basically using Scan Power, a sourcing tool, to look up things one at a time, and it will look up everything for a whole spreadsheet. So, height, weight, length, how many quantities in the product, all the Amazon fees broken down, weight handling, referral fees, variable, order handling, everything, as well as the total. the top percentage in the category. So those are the top 50%, those are the top 1%, whatever it is, your net profit, your ROI, margins, a link to a thumbnail, the URL, the category. I mean, every bit of information you could want, the title on Amazon, your buy box, your lowest FBA, your lowest merchant fulfilled, number of other sellers, rank, as much information as you can need. So you can start with a minimal amount. And we use this for our VAs. So when we have VA sourcing, we want the least amount of information we can get, because then they can produce more leads. They can go on and move on to the next thing. They can, just give us a price and a link and an ASIN, and then we can have a tool do it for us. And it makes it a lot easier on them, and they can find more stuff, and it makes it so we're getting more work for less cost from them. So I hope that answered whatever questions about that.
I sent you a message with a question somebody also sent, but I mean, a lot of that was covered in
right.
what we just went over.
What is the best process to use for the VA to send the that they shortlist as good to you? How do you keep checking on these deals that they share with you and decide on it? Do you have them send emails all day long? So no, they never send us emails. We use Google Drive a lot for all of our employees to communicate between Valerie and I. For VAs, the VAs have a sheet with their own tabs, and when they're done for the day, they upload their data, and then we come and we access the data. Of course, they're doing it overnight, so in the morning we have all of that data. So that's how we access it. They upload it. We look at it. We decide what's worth posting. We post them. Of course, we have an Amazon business. We have sourcing lists as well as the masterminds. Our retail group. So we are sourcing a ton of stuff, and we keep all that separate. The retail stuff, is separate from the mastermind groups, and the stuff for my business. If I have an employee sourcing for my business, those leads aren't like, we don't pick and choose which ones go where. So whoever does one thing does that. So that's how they communicate with us. They all have access to a sheet with their own tab that they're putting their leads in. So they're not doing it in a spreadsheet and then uploading it. We can watch what they're doing live in Google Sheets, and they post each thing in each cell as they go. So we can watch it. If we think they're doing something wrong, we can correct it. We can see what's going on. And then, it's harder for them to copy that and sell that list to somebody else. So how do we keep checking on the deals they share with you and decide on it? Do you have them send emails all day long? So, the most important thing is, to have processes in place. Develop how you want to do it. And, it's a changing process. I mean, we just changed a lot of things over the last few weeks that weren't working as well. It's all a growing process. So if it's not working for you, you change it to a way that is working. If you can't figure it out, you ask somebody for help. That's what we're here for, is to help you build processes to grow your business, to do whatever it is you need to do. And you might not know what it is. If you have a problem, tell us what your problem is. Say you're not making money because of this and you don't know what to do, that's fine. We'll help you figure it out. But this is how, we do this, and it works really well. And you want to get the most amount out of your employees that you can. Because the more hours they work, they can suck up your hours very quickly. If you're paying them by the hour, if they're doing things the hard way, then you need to, you have to tell them how to do it. And that's why I say, make your own videos, learn from me, and then apply that to what's best for your business. So, what's best for your business, you make that video. you record your screen, you explain to them how you want it done, and then and then you have that going on, and until you decide to change it. But this is the easiest way we found. They do their sourcing online on a sheet that we've shared with their email address, so I can watch it live while people are entering their data, and then they upload it, and then we look at that, we download the sheets, we make it into a format that's we found is best for the mastermind members, or best for my employees that are going to go out and order those items for me, or however we're using that data. Yeah, I mean, I can show, I have no problem showing you, what those sheets look like actually on ours. I believe I have that.
And on top of that, they said that because they don't know what data they should be asking for and how to format it well. So when you go over this.
Well, like I said, if you're going to use a tool like this, actually got to bring that up just a moment. And I guess we can make a sample one for, and just post a link to it, and then you can make a copy and then use it however you need to. But we just have a leads sheet. And another thing we're working on, which I will share, we're still putting it together, but what we've done is we've created a basically a list, and we're still building on it, of things to stay away from. So these are the type of items we don't want people to source, and we kind of have to get pretty specific with the foreign VAs. So glass containing liquid over 3 ounces, I mean, everyone knows that's the rule, but that didn't work out. We were still getting jelly, and some of them kept getting posted to the group. Peanut butter in glass is still considered a liquid due to the viscosity of peanut butter and the testing they use. Anything containing alcohol, we decided to stay away from. Formula, salsa in glass, again, cheese in glass is down here because we kept getting that. Goo Gone, petroleum distillates, of course. No hair dye, no nail polish, no perfume. Nail polish isn't even on here. And then as we grow our list of brands that are restricted or, hazmat or blocked for some reason, it has gotten quite out of hand, but this is, everything that we found so far. And then stores. I mean, we do use OA X-ray, so this is a list of stores. Actually, Zaluli and Woot are not on there, but my other VAs like sourcing there for some reason. Zaluli has like 3-day sales, and that seems to be what they found. And then Woot is owned by Amazon, and then almost everything they have is short runs. Of course, we don't want to be sourcing at Canada, and these are mostly OA X-ray stores that kept popping up. We're not buying things from Jet, or eBay if it's a better price. But I mean, we do source in our business for eBay, but it's an option in OA X-ray. So usually those things are already sold. So it's not good for our VAs to be doing that unless they're specifically going there. And so this is what, let's find one they're working on right now. Okay, so this is what one of the lists, the sourcing lists look like. So we only record the ASIN, the source price, the link, and then this is a training video, which is on YouTube, about sourcing, and I don't know if it's there either. And then, if we need to send messages to our VAs, we just put them right in here. But this is just the links to buy, the source price, and the ASIN, and then they just upload that data You know, so there's not a lot to it. Now, if we're the people who aren't using OA X-ray, you know, they pull a whole lot more information. As you can see, they pull all the information. Stores they're sourcing at, rank, store price, any kind of deal that's going on that applies to it, the sell price, profit, payouts, ROI, you know, URLs to buy from, the sell price. You know, these guys have been trained to do, you know, a lot more. The people doing OA X-ray, of course, we want to get as much as we can out of them. You know, so I hope that answers those questions for you guys. If you have any more questions, just, you know, feel free to send us a PM, and we'll be happy to help you guys out.
Don't forget to join us with Nate this Wednesday.
Right. Yeah, and we'll post, we've already posted in the Mastermind, but of course we'll post that again. I believe he has a course coming out, but of course the people we bring on are to, you know, to help everybody out.
Don't throw it on the ground.
You know, their courses may be, you know, the reasons why they're doing interviews, but, you know, we bring them in to help you guys out. And I think really, you know, training VAs, and, you know, he has a ton of free content. You know, if you go to his blog, I think most of the stuff in that course is already there for free. And he wrote a book on it as well, for free. So you just sign up on the blog and you can download his whole ebook, you know, on sourcing in other countries. So, yeah, if you want any other videos, just let me know. And thanks for coming. We'll hopefully see you guys on Wednesday.